Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas television.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas television.
I'm Alonso, and I like and despise all of these characters. And this
Is the Deck the Hallmark
Hallmark
podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, everybody, welcome.
This is the week no one wins. You're right, Alonso. I don't want to jump right in. You're right. See, the great Roger Ebert said he always wanted you to know his opinion of the movie in the first sentence that he said on his television program at the movies. And Alonso following in his footsteps there. He didn't even get through the intro and already told us exactly the take on this movie. So,
look, there's a lot to unpack. We'll get there. It's fine. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, we
Everything's
are.
going great today.
you said great one too many times.
Well, read into it how you will.
I had some technical difficulties.
No.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm
good. Monday.
Alonso, how are you?
Oh, good. You know, it's the Monday after the Oscars, which means we don't have to talk about the Oscars for a while.
Can you believe
that's always
that
nice.
one? And how about that speech from
Right? I know. So many surprises, and that won and that lost. What? Yes.
I'm just now realizing that we forgot to do our Oscar Pick'em episode,
Yeah.
which people really look forward
slipped
to.
through the cracks somehow?
Did we tell this?
Where's your March Madness? Where's your Oscars? You guys are
I know.
slipping.
We are.
I know.
We are.
I
Did you
know.
have to watch it for breakfast all day, or did you just do like a pre-show thing?
Oh, we did the whole thing live. We start to finish. We had a streaming partner with like trivia and prizes. It was a whole thing.
Wow, man, you really did it. I know how much you love award shows.
Whew.
And you still show up for us. It's
Has your favorite movie of the year ever won Best Picture?
Yes. Moonlight.
Moonlight. Oh, okay.
a
Okay.
close one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It almost didn't, but it did.
I almost-
And Everything Everywhere was like my number 2 that year. So
Everything Everywhere was
lately it's been a pretty good run, I have to say.
I almost flew out to California to have a fight in person with Alonso where he circled his top 10 favorite Best Picture winners.
of since 2014.
No, because Titanic. This is the Titanic one. Since what year?
Oh, okay.
1990?
Since 95, I think.
Since
yeah.
95, and he had Titanic in his top 10 first of all, and then didn't have Oppenheimer, which no surprise, but had
that on purpose.
Titanic making his top 10. It was a move. Alonso.
Look, is Titanic like great cinema? No. Is it effective movie making? Totally.
It's typically a good
And the
James Cameron review.
Titanic's never killed anybody.
What?
So Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't
Actually, the Titanic did kill a few people. Yes.
yeah, that was the joke. It was
Way fewer though.
Yeah.
Was it way
Did you
fewer?
know that the Titanic
Proportionally.
was a real boat, or did you think it was
I
a fictional
didn't
boat?
know
Okay,
Votes.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Let's talk Holidays, shall we? Maybe
Yeah.
it'll win an award next year. We'll see. It comes back for season 2.
At the only awards that matters, which is the Deckies.
The Deckies.
The
That's right.
Deckies. The Camarena?
Camarena?
Camarena? Anyway.
Because I'm the Hispanic one, I will say it for you. Hey, Camarena. Okay.
We were all thinking it.
Very, very good.
You were all thinking it.
It went a little something like this. Gabby is having a dream of what it'll be like when her brother finally does marry her childhood rival, Kate. And it is a mess. And the entire party begins chanting, "Easy bake, easy bake." She wakes up to Kate waking her up by calling her Easy Bake. That's tough. That's tough to wake up from. And taking an unflattering picture of her right away. Some things never change. Gabby isn't convinced that Kate has changed. She thinks that she's purposely trying to make Gabby's holidays miserable. She finally comes back to talk to her brother about it when Kate brings back some breakfast burritos from her favorite spot, even though she knew Gabby was making breakfast burritos for breakfast. I didn't need that second breakfast. Why?
We all need a second breakfast.
Amen.
All the hobbits do for sure. I know that much.
While getting a Christmas tree, she tries talking to Kate about how she bullied Gabby as kids, but she doesn't want to talk about it. And then promptly cuts the Christmas tree and it falls onto Gabby. Could be a coincidence. But then Katie takes another picture of her on the ground. She claims that it's for the Christmas photo album.
For the gram.
For the gram. Later, Katie corners Gabby and tells her to stop trying to get away, stop trying to get in the way of what she has with Kevin. She's very direct, very intense. Kevin goes next door to ask Katie's dad for his blessing to propose to Katie. Needless to say, he does not give his blessing and sharpens his axe instead, which is a choice. Gabby sneaks a spicy pepper into Katie's dinner. Bad timing, though, because Kevin is proposing at dinner. Her parents figure out what she's done and they confront her about it. And she says, yeah, I did it because she ruined my life. We then see the video of them as kids at the science fair where Katie gets the entire school to chant "Easy Bake." It's tough. It's tough. How do you recover? The next day, she goes to talk to Gabby, like Katie does, and says that they need to talk about things. Katie explains that what happened out of jealousy because Gabby ignored her. They had been best friends. They had walked to the bus every day. And one day she just kept walking, didn't stop. And she started hanging out with all the smart kids. She felt abandoned. And that's why she did the whole chanting the Easy Bake thing. They end up making up. Episode over, except episode not over, because Kevin has opened Gabby's laptop and sees that the video of the Easy Bake incident is still open on the computer. He watches it with his parents, and he tells her maybe he doesn't know her so well after all. You're a real bully. Everyone is pretty sad, but they still have to go volunteer at the Christmas festival. Kevin dresses up like Santa, but he's just a really sad Santa. Katie shows up as Mrs. Claus and slams the engagement ring down. And then her dad falls off the stage. The episode ends with Gabby making a sad baking video as the power goes off. Worst Christmas ever. And that, my friends, was
Holidazed. Camarena family.
December 12th.
We did it.
We
Why did you do December 12th?
I don't know.
Are we doing dates at the end?
We're doing dates now. You got to remember
Is this a new thing?
You got to remember. I told you I was going to do a new thing.
You said on episode 1300 you're going to start doing dates.
I'm going to do the dates of the before and after.
Well, it was 12/12/24, so that is sort of
Yeah.
numerologically, you know.
That's right. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to the hot take and all that good stuff here on Deck the Hallmark. I got it.
I was drinking something.
Take it off.
You got there really quick. Philo.tv/DTH, you can see me halfway through drinking some water.
It's 1300.
That's right. You got there real. You went. Did I take a break with me right here?
I think
Dan was shotgunning.
Yeah, I think what you would notice is that I don't think it was that fast. I think that's what you would notice. It's time for the hot take. So we share exactly how we felt about this episode. We do not hold back, and I will start with you, Alonso. Alonso, what do you think? Holidays, episode 6?
Yep.
6. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. Like there's some things that we'll unpack that don't entirely work, but this feels like it's treading into territory that Hallmark doesn't usually go. Mainly people being mean.
Yeah.
Like that's an aspect of drama that Hallmark would just as soon never do. And even people who are like the town grump or whatever, they don't really like actively sabotage each other the way these two women do. And it turns out to be this thing of like, oh, wait, this person who I thought was the victim is actually kind of a monster and vice versa. But they're both things. So yeah, I dug the complexity of all that.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I like the mean girls aspect of it all. It felt it like something that they don't normally do. I don't totally love the reasoning behind it on either side. Like it just like I don't know, it felt so petty and silly and whatnot. But especially like I just think if I don't know if I hang out with Dan all the time, and one day he just walks by my house, I feel like I would just be like, "Hey, Dan, wait up." I don't know. Hey,
You're
Dan,
not in
wait.
the ninth grade, though.
No, I'm not in the
Brandon.
ninth grade. I'm not in the ninth grade. Thank you for the reminder. I'm
You
not
are
in the
a big
ninth
boy.
grade. I'm a big boy. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't totally didn't totally buy it, but I did. I really liked the characters, and I thought that they did a new thing, and they did it pretty well. Dan.
Yeah, I would say definitely for me more of a mixed bag than the last last week's episode, maybe the last 2 weeks. I'm getting the order of them confused.
No, 2 weeks ago was the
Lindy
one that no
Booth.
one cared.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
I say Lindy Booth.
Yes,
not a thing.
yes. So every family aside from the Lindy Booth family, I've enjoyed to a certain extent. I enjoyed last week's episode more than this one. I did like this one because it is doing things Alonso said that Hallmark typically doesn't do. There's some other ones. I'll save them for the feels segment because I have more there. But this is a complicated situation. Does some of it ring a little false? I would agree. I would agree that some of it rings a little false. Like that this, like I totally buy that two people who are best friends stop being best friends for things left unsaid. I buy 100% that they never decided. They just could have said the easy thing, which is, you stop hanging out with me. You stop going, you started hanging out with all these other people, or I didn't even realize this was a big deal. I buy that two people would stop hanging out in high school thinking that the other one was doing something maliciously, never to even dig, because we see that plot 1,000 times in Hallmark movies. I definitely buy it from high school kids. That I buy. But how mean they are to each other as adults is bonkers to me. That was the part that was very difficult for me, was
Alonso smirking.
I don't know anyone, and I don't have many wait whats, so I don't want to get too heavily into it, but like some of the things that Holland Roden's character does are just unconscionable. And I will say the other character, what's her name now? She gives Gabby starts to give as good as she's getting, but oh my gosh, like some of the stuff that Holland Roden is doing, you're a grown woman, like you're marrying into this family. That was I guess my big takeaway was I didn't find with the guys last week, they became friends really quick. Dennis Haysbert and Sir Blaine became friends really quick. And I just was like, that's too quick, but I buy it. This was like, that's too mean. I don't buy it. That's like, you can be a little bit more passive aggressive, not aggressive. Like some of the stuff happening in this movie is bordering on what if she died? So I don't, it's hard for me, Sir Darius Blaine's like, oh, you're an old soul. You like jazz? Great, bestie. Okay. That's a little quick, but Holland Roden's like, what if she died? Wouldn't it be a gaff? I could get.
What if I crushed her with a tree?
Exactly. And so what if
I take a picture of her almost dead?
I didn't quite buy it. Way better than the Lindy Booth one, but I probably would have it third of the other three. So that's where I am with it.
Let's get to those feels that Dan alluded to. So we're talking about what in this episode gives feels. Alonso.
Yeah, a few things. I was impressed with the wedding nightmare at the beginning, more just for the fact that they put that whole scene together with all those extras just for that one snippet.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to come back to it later and, like have the actual wedding. No, they spent the money on like that day of shooting just for this like little intro to the episode, which was like, okay.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that
No, sure.
makes me think in like our third episode ever of Deck the Hallmark, we had Randy Pope. Nope. Randy Thomas. Nope. Randy, we're going to call him out in the grass.
The amazing Randy.
Randy, who edited Switch for Christmas.
Yes.
And who said,
I couldn't.
There was a whole dream sequence that we wanted to do to explain the Tom Kender fiasco. And Hallmark was like, absolutely not. And now they're hiring 100 extras for the dream sequence. So look at come Hallmark, you're really doing things.
It's evolution. Who would have thought? Just a quick shout out to the fact that Naomi Gonzalez is publicly bisexual. Good on her.
Great.
Getting back to the thing before about adults behaving like this after they were rivals in high school, one of my favorite 30 Rock episodes is where Liz Lemon is invited to her high school reunion and she doesn't want to go because she remembers having been picked on by everybody, but then through reasons she winds up there and finds out that she actually picked on everybody else.
I forgot about that.
I felt, you know, because I think there's probably a little of that in my own history here.
Definitely not mine.
So I kind of feel like there is a thing where even as adults, especially if like the person who you remember making your life hell in high school wants to marry into your family, that's when the knives come out, you know, literally or figuratively. And then I also just love the ongoing thing of the Minetti Hanahans, and they never explain why their names are hyphenated.
Fantastic. I love it.
I got a big kick out of when he goes to ask, like, hey, I want to propose to your daughter or whatever. And then like just the sharpening of the axe, all of it just I thought was so funny.
Dude.
And I was dumb enough to think like he's gonna do this whole thing and be like, at the end of the day, like it is like
yeah.
And he's like, I can't believe you would even show your face right here. It was really funny. The whole thing was really funny. So big fan.
I will piggyback there. John C. McGinley, unfair good. He is he's not going to be mistaken for somebody who's like Daniel Day-Lewis disappearing in a role. But what he does exceedingly well. And that may as well have been Dr. Cox talking to JD. It was fantastic. Like that, like
yes.
John C. McGinley is unfair good. I just got a text from Aaron that says it's Randy Carter, by the way. Randy Carter.
Out the grass.
Yes, I was going to say Randy Newman. That would have been a different conversation. Sean David, Sweet for Christmas. So John C. McGinley, unfair good. But my feels is that he proposes anyway. That's my feels. Hallmark having this guy going and asking for the blessing, an antiquated thing that we do because it's tradition, not getting it and going, I'm asking her to marry me anyway because it's her decision, not his. I freaking love that. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming from Hallmark. I just assumed we were going to have the proposal in episode 8. No. He's like, your dad didn't give me the blessing. Guess what? Doesn't matter. You can make up your own mind. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was a big time move by Holidazed. Big fan.
Yeah. What you don't know is it was actually him that put the pepper in there. Just because he just was like, I want to make this as hard for you as possible.
Excruciating, of course. Yeah.
But right there with Christmas with the sings, you know,
That's
like
right.
didn't bother to ask, didn't care.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to the way, what, and the what, the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Welcome back. It's Stack the Hallmark. We're reviewing shows better than When Calls the Heart. Today we're doing Holiday.
Gosh, that could be our whole thing. It would be all. It literally
opens
It literally opens up all of television.
It really does. It really does. Let's get to the way what is what we're talking about. One this episode made us go, wait, what? Alonso.
Okay, I could be wrong here, and so if I am, if people want to write in and tell me I'm wrong, then do. But
this isn't the way home. You'll be fine.
This is my experience. I come from a family that is bilingual, that's where the parents and the kids speak Spanish to each other, the kids speak Spanish to each other. And no one is named Kevin. Like my siblings all have Spanishy names. My nieces and nephews, the whole next generation, it's all like Rafael and Ana and Malin and
Rafael,
Sophia.
Ana, Alonso, Kevin.
There is not a Kevin. So I didn't buy that as the thing.
I had a brother named Jim and one named John and one named Alonso, weirdly enough. So that's we did the reverse of what you did.
It didn't pass my sniff test, but maybe there's people out there that's how they're rolling and more.
They were
power
watching
to
Home
them.
Alone. It was a Home Alone. They were like, it was on in the delivery room. That's right.
This is maybe a Trace Talks.
Can you do that one more time? I just want you to do it one more time. One more time.
Kevin.
I love that. That's very nice for me.
That's the dub.
I love it. I love it.
This is a Trace Talks tech question, maybe, but A, the idea that her teenage laptop still works. B, that this video still lives on MySpace, and C, that the video is that crisp. Y'all tell me, because this is more your generation than mine as far as like that stuff.
She actually called me up, if you can believe it, Alonso. She called me up, and I was able to work my magic. The fact that you would doubt me, Alonso.
Yeah, how many-
I went
who
to
was
you
your-
first, Trace. I'm deferring to what
And it
Trace
was
has
a
to say.
lot of work. It was a lot of hard work.
Trey, since we have you, who is who is your top 8 on your MySpace page?
There was Rick.
Okay.
There's Cheryl.
Right.
There's my pastor. You remember my pastor's name?
Yeah, from First Baptist Lily.
Lily's. But yes. Frankie Muniz fan account
Frankie
that I
Muniz.
started. Juniper.
You're gonna get to all. I think we got it. We pretty much got
Juniper Lee?
Juniper Lee.
Dogmer.
Don't ask.
It was a band.
Don't ask. Okay.
I was in it.
Dogmer.
Dogmer.
Got it.
You know what it spells backwards?
Rim God.
Yeah.
That's what it spells backwards. You asked what it spelled backwards. I told you. It's a family show. But from the Rim God.
Yes.
I miss Trace.
Really?
I do.
Do?
I do.
She
She's
was on the
endearing.
was she ever on the payroll? I was never clear on that.
Either we don't open up those books. You kidding me? Can't tell you if we're paying the Rim God or not.
And
Been told we're not allowed to anymore.
clearly we've learned nothing from Hot Ones because Katie eats the pepper and starts chugging water, and that's just a no.
No, you don't do that.
No. Bread, milk.
Bread,
That's-
milk.
No.
Give me that bread. Give me
That's
that
it.
milk. Give me that.
Yeah.
Yes, I will marry you. I got a kick out of the fact. Maybe Gabby's just different than I am, but Gabby has a horrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah.
Goes to the Christmas festival. That whole thing transpires, and then she comes back and she's like, "Let me try to make a video." Like there's no way.
There's no world.
It's gonna turn out
Sleep
good.
it off first.
Like you got time that video. No one's gonna want to see that. Aside from that, I didn't really have anything this episode. So sorry.
We do find out that the place where they go and cut down the tree is private property, but
Yeah.
she tells them that they can cut down a tree here because it's the forest and it's free. And I don't know if you know this about the United States of America, pretty big on land ownership. There is nowhere that I'm aware of that you can just go and it not be someone's property, government or otherwise. And if there was a property where you could just go and cut your tree down for free, everyone would know about it in that area. And then they go to cut this tree down and they find a perfect Christmas tree that's clearly been set up for this purpose. And Holland Roden's character begins to cut that tree down, angling it to land on Gabby. All right. That is not like a jealous, I'm going to get you back move. I'm going to make a tree fall on you. That's what she's going to do. Now, the problem is her parents are standing right there. And at no time in this entire thing, hey, this tree, she's cutting it this way. It's going to fall. At no time do her parents like put a hand on the tree, try to stop the tree. Her parents watch in real time as a tree tips over and falls on her. They are a foot away. They don't do anything.
You don't mess with nature.
You don't mess with nature. And then Holland Roden's character, once the tree has fallen on the individual, hops over and takes a picture. Like
The fact that no one called her on that aside from Gabby.
Listen,
Is there a reason you just took a picture of my sister at her lowest moment? Like,
And then to post that Grinch photo, it's like, I think that kind of backs up Gabby's claim that, hey, this gal is out to get me.
Yeah.
But I think also breaking into the sort of protected, forest is one of the few things that can't be explained away. Like, oops, I knocked you off stage at karaoke. It was on accident. Oh, I got breakfast burritos. I had no idea. But
Yep.
there's really no getting out of that.
there's
one.
nothing here. Like all the rest of this stuff, if you want to put it in the passive aggressive category, you could maybe make that fit. This is crazy. This is
an actual crime.
The actions of a crazy person. Like you
Yeah.
cannot do this. And like to take a pic, I just was like, at that point, Gabby was pretty terrible in this episode too, but I can't. Holland Roden becomes the worst person. Like there's no way you're going to top that. What if we had a
Right.
tree fall on her and then I take a picture? It'd be a goof. And then also, I already on this show from time to time come off as insensitive, but if you have that much of an issue with a jalapeno, you're a child and cannot get married. It's a jalapeno pepper. It is not like, I get it. They can be spicy. I understand that. That we've seen hot ones. That is a reaction for a pepper up the ladder, even with seeds and membrane in it. It's
Well,
still
she reaches for the jar that says hot peppers, so I think the jalapeno gives her the idea, and then she gets the big stuff off the shelf.
I feel better about it now because I was like, guys, come on. I get it. She's white girl, Hispanic household. I understand, but like
she's
again, Chris is with the sayings. You're putting ketchup in the curry.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Different world altogether.
Kevin,
shocking to find that we introduced several other families' plot lines in this episode. Now, the John C. McGinley one, obviously, he's a part of that storyline because it's his daughter. But we also get Aaron Cahill on the phone, and like some of these other episodes haven't bothered to.
Yeah, but Gabby was in Aaron Cahill's
Gabby appears in the
well.
Aaron Cahill episode.
So my question is, I guess it's a what the Hallmark.
Okay.
Which is,
well, let's do it now, and then you can just keep going because it is time for what's your Holly, what's your days.
Yeah, of course.
So do it that way.
Same thing.
Alonso.
My days is no one in this family listens to Gabby ever.
Yeah.
They don't listen to her when she tells her that Katie's the worst and a nightmare and made her life a living hell. And then they don't listen to her when she says, no, all is forgiven. I was equally to blame. We've worked it out. Just Gabby talks and they're just like, it's the dog whistle. No one can hear. So she needs to, I don't know. They all need therapy or she needs to ditch this family because they're kind of terrible to her in that they never listen to her and are kind of gaslighting her half the time. But my Holly, though, is again, I feel like this episode between the nightmare sequence and the cruelty just shows Hallmark maybe branching out a little, and I'm for that.
Fair.
My Holly, I guess, is we talked about how this episode starts off with this wedding and all these extras and stuff. Why would they do that? That doesn't seem very cost effective. I wonder if we will see a flash forward at the end of the final episode with the same wedding.
Alonso already gave that away earlier and he's shaking his head now, but he said that earlier. They did never come back. And he's seen them all.
I'm trying to pretend like you haven't.
Sorry.
He knows he has. Every episode.
No, that's a great thought, Brad. We'll keep an eye out for that when we get to the finale.
Cost effective.
How's this one? Can I try this one for size? So she is making videos. She's doing her thing. She's trying to become this online personality chef type thing. The viral of the Grinch picture goes viral. And Katie is like, a lot of people found out about you. They're going to find you. She's obviously now she's going to test out this whole all press is good press. Did the Grinch picture going viral? Did it help her numbers at all with her videos? Did it kind of help her take off at all? Interesting question. Both I think are good.
Very good. They're both awesome.
Thank you.
My Holly, which was going to be my what the Hallmark, but we don't do that on this program. Right. That's crazy. This episode has other storylines directly connected to it. And I wonder why there wasn't more of an effort made in all of these stories to have a little bit more of that like serialized feel. It feels like this one does. And the first one does. It didn't feel like, I don't think any of the other three did. And so I wonder.
They even set up a moment where she's like, oh, Katie can take you to the salon and her mom can get the sap out of your hair. And you think, oh, great, Virginia Madsen. And then
No, exactly.
I'm sure it's all about shooting schedules,
and obviously if they bring back the wedding at the,
definitely is a possibility.
For sure.
It would have been a good
on the
use
table.
of the sets.
My Dazed is, and they may have mentioned this and I missed it, but he shows up to be Santa at this event and all these kids are there and he just has his beard pulled down and they all still treat him as if he is Santa Claus. And as someone who, maybe has a few qualms with the Santa myth myself, but knows that kids, as long as that beard is on and they're of a certain age, we don't have time for it, but buy in.
Definitely do. First of all,
buy in to Santa. When he pulls his beard down, wouldn't every kid at least be like, "This isn't the real guy"?
Here's a live look at every kid when that happens.
Yeah. And they walk away, but they don't. He pulls his beard down, and one girl goes, "Santa, where's Mrs. Claus?" Ma'am, that's not Santa. He pulled his beard down.
Yeah.
Here's your sign. That's not, he doesn't have a beard. It's fake. That's a fake.
Go find
beard.
another one.
Just come on, kids.
He's not even trying.
No.
We have 2 more episodes left. One more with a family, and then one more that's going to wrap up what happens post power outage. We're going to call it the post power outage
team
finale.
The hour of power outage.
Ooh, that's better. That's Alonso. You're good. You're good, buddy. Alonso, anything else for the people?
Stand tall and united, and call your congresspeople.
That's right.
I love that.
My wife's new thing is she wants to meet with all of them in person.
Oh.
My wife's now her email a week to all of our South Carolina people is, I would like to set up a meeting with you in person.
Good.
I'm not joking. She's
Good.
like, I want to be a face. I want them to I'm going to bother them till they meet with me.
Yeah, go to town halls, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love that I don't ask anybody if they have anything else for anybody except for you.
It's always good stuff.
I should be ready though. That's the problem.
Come on back next week. That's gonna be a lot of fun, and then come back every single day this week. More Deck the Hallmark for you. Until then, maybe the first to wish you Merry Christmas.
The Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.